right, folks, we're going to get you back to court in just a minute. But first, I do want to bring in my guests for this hour. Trial attorneys Rich Schoenstein and Trey Gober are with us. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here on the program. Rick, yeah, and Trey, at the end of the day, they do want to get two different charges against this guy. If they don't get him on the malice murder, they also have the felony murder, which the underlying felony is kidnapping. But I want to ask about the malice murder. Clearly, he's creepy. Clearly, he seems morbidly fascinated with his own work. They've connected him to the body very, very well. His own gun is out where the body is. But do they have enough for malice murder to show that he intended to kill this young lady?
Well, certainly that's always one of the most difficult elements for a prosecutor to prove, because you're asking the jury to peel back and look into the mind of the defendant, and often the defendant's not going to testify, especially in a case like this. So it's really difficult. But the fact that we have these repeated searches, the multiple contacts, the overwhelming evidence of connection is going to go a long way for the jury to help establish that intent in order to determine malice. And frankly, once a jury really believes this defendant has done it, they're not going to have a hard time buying into those elements.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly where they're going to be, because I don't have a hard time believing he did this. If you want to raise a question as to what exactly happened, that may be, but I agree with you. I think they'll be very willing to believe that he intended to kill this young lady. All right, let's get back into court now. Detective Angela Carter still on the stand. She's now testifying about searches defendant Miles Bryant made on his own car, about his own car. Let's get back into court. All right, folks, before we head back to court, let's bring back in our guests for this hour, trial attorneys Rich Schoenstein and Trey Gober. Trey, I want to start with you. Now, we're showing testimony from earlier in the day. We kind of know what happened. Angela Carter is the last witness for the state. And what happens then is, of course, the defense asks for a directed verdict. Now, the judge says that she will take under advisement counts 2, which is the felony murder, count 3, the kidnapping, count 4, attempted rape. She also says that she was going to give it to the jury, let them decide, and then she will decide. That seems a bit odd to me. What are your thoughts on that?
That is a bit strange. You know, it's within the court's discretion and prerogative to do such. But certainly, you know, in terms of just a bare legal sufficiency, it seems that threshold has been passed. But it really just feels like a punting by the court. You know, it may very well be a moot issue to not reach that particular issue with those charges, especially depending on what the jury could do on the first charge.
Yeah, I mean, to me, you know, they either made out the elements of the charge or not. Why send it to the jury? I'm not sure I agree with that.